What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Cjthecheesedj here, and we are back with another Ark Insight. And today, we are taking a look at another underwater set of creatures. Waiting for it. You guys probably already know because we didn't even think about it. The Diplocaulus versus the angler fish. So these two guys are, your basic average underwater creatures. Well, the Diplocaulus is actually an amphibian, since you can take him onto land. Alrighty, so if you don't know what these Ark Insights are, essentially what we do, look at those bloody teeth, is we go through their stats and which ones are better based on their stats, and then we put them in a battle to the death. We go through their special abilities and whatnot, and then we battle them to the death. Alright, let's get into it. So the anglerfish, straight off the bat, there you go, you can see there, 450 health, 240 stamina, 350 weight, 134.1 melee damage. Not a bad amount of stats for a level 1 anglerfish. Coming to the Diplocaulus here, this guy's also level 1. What do we got here? We got 190 health, 165 stamina, 150 weight, and 118.8 melee damage. Obviously not the greatest underwater mount that you're going to be using throughout Ark because, well, he's horrible in stats. But you can still definitely get some utilization out of this guy. Please stay away from us, Manta. Okay, so now that we've gone through their base stats, obviously the anglerfish is much more impressive in terms of stats than the Diplocaulus, but, what would you expect? So the anglerfish, you don't actually need a saddle to ride on. Same goes for the Diplocaulus, however the heck you want to call it. But you can actually take the Diplocaulus onto land as well as ride him. You can see here we're able to ride him, and you can take him up onto land, but you can't actually ride him on land. He can follow you out of the water, but that's about it. And then obviously he can follow you back into the water so you can ride him. But that's pretty much all the Diplocaulus has going for himself. Alright, so now we're going to test out their speed and see just who is the fastest creature. Now, in terms of flat out speed, my money is definitely on the Diplocaulus. So we pretty much ran these guys. They're pretty much in sync. I'm pretty sure the Diplocaulus is really Manta. Okay, well, while the anglerfish is dealing with the mantas and it's probably going to die, we're going to measure the Diplocaulus's movement speed. Here we go. You can see this rock here. We're going to swim to that rock just over there and see just how fast he is. It'd be great if we weren't getting bombarded by mantas. That took about 4 seconds. We're going to less than 4 seconds, but you can see it's a little bit hard to control the Diplocaulus because when you press his sprint button, you actually go up a little bit, so it's a little bit annoying. But I can tell you now that the Diplocaulus is faster than the anglerfish. We did do a previous video of these two guys. However, the footage did get corrupted, so we unfortunately couldn't use it for you guys. And the Diplocaulus was 1 second faster than the anglerfish. So it wasn't too much faster. It was, it was 1 second, 0.8 of a second faster than the anglerfish. Now we're going to come over here to less hostile waters, and we're probably going to summon another anglerfish just so we don't get absolutely mauled to death by a swarm of manta rays. Alright, here we go. We're here, we're safe. And as you can see, the Diplocaulus has about 20 seconds of stamina usage. He doesn't have that much stamina, so do take that into mind if you are planning on teaming these guys up and using them underwater for those specific purposes. Now, while we've got these guys here, we are just going to go over their special abilities. So, ooh, that's a really nice looking anglerfish. So in terms of the anglerfish, he obviously has his little bulb thing, that's what it's called, which can actually light the way underwater. Now on Ragnarok and custom maps, you obviously don't need to worry about it too much because there is actual proper lighting underwater. But on maps like the island, the center, where the lighting underwater is absolutely horrible, you definitely need some anglers to swim underwater to be able to see clearly underwater with the light, because you can't see a bloody thing on the island, which is really frustrating, but that's just the way the devs made things on Ark. Now, aside from that, they are also the best silica pearl gatherers in the game. You can actually go up to a bunch of silica pearls and munch on them with the anglerfish, and he will actually collect them, which is obviously very useful. Now, he obviously doesn't have a lot of weight, so you will be limited in the amount of silica pearls you are able to gather. You can see here this silica pearl in front of us allows us to gather it by biting it, which, is a great addition because you can essentially pump this guy in movement, speed, and weight, outswim pretty much anything in the ocean, and just grab a bunch of silica pearls at the bottom of the ocean. However, do take in mind that these guys are very fragile, so if you do come up against mosasauruses and plesiosaurs, well, it's probably in your best interest to run away from them or swim away. Probably swim away because you can't run underwater, so do take that into mind when taming the anglerfish. But aside from that, that's pretty much all they're able to do. They are able to attack attract other anglerfish with their bulb thing. So do take that into mind. So you can essentially use these guys to farm up angler gel as well, because they have the ability to attract other anglerfish. You can see there, his little bulb looks like angler gel. So, you know, you can use angler gel for refining forges, for your standing torches, you know, as a resource, for more complicated items. You know, I'm pretty sure like industrial grinders and some of the high tier tech stuff uses angler gel, so do take that into mind. Anglerfish all around, you know, they're pretty solid mounts. I would probably solely tame one up just for the silica pearl gathering. And you can see there, our poor Diplocaulus is absolutely getting shredded to death by a Megalodon. Yeah, well, there's no way our anglerfish will take on that Megalodon, so we're going to swim to a more safe location, and then we'll go over the Diplocaulus' abilities. Now, the Diplocaulus is a little bit different in terms of abilities. Essentially, what you can do is you can dive underwater with this guy, and, you know, he doesn't require a saddle or anything. You can pretty much dive to the bottom depths of the ocean and supply yourself with plenty of oxygen. That's essentially what these guys' main roles are. So you swim to the bottom of the ocean, you gather whatever resources you need, do whatever you need to do at the bottom of the ocean, and then you make your way back up to the surface. Now, you don't need a scuba tank. These guys essentially act as scuba tanks, scuba flippers. They don't provide you with any hypothermia or hyperthermia protection or insulation, so do take that into mind. You will still need probably the leggings or something like that to be able to stay warm enough under the ocean so you don't die from freezingness, but these guys are pretty much, that's their sole purpose, just to provide you with oxygen underwater and allow you to swim quickly through the ocean, managing yourself to gather the oil, you know, silica pearls, whatever else you need from the bottom of the ocean. Even if you're taming up other stuff, you know, you bring these guys down with you, get the mosasaur up to the threshold which it swims to, and then just trank it from there and just come back and take oxygen from the Diplocaulus. You can see that we're able to take a little bit of oxygen, and his oxygen meter slowly depletes every time we take some oxygen. So there is that to take into consideration. Now, as well as that, like I said earlier, these guys can swim up onto the land, and then they turn into walking little frog things, and, you know, they can essentially follow you back to your base. Now, you'll find these guys in the swamp majority of the time. You can find them in the ocean, sometimes like close to the swamps, but other than that, that's pretty much where you'll find these guys. Now you can see here, these guys are able to walk on land, follow you back to your base, and, you know, that's pretty much all these guys have going for themselves. They don't provide any other utilities other than that. So, you know, honestly, you probably don't need to waste your time taming up a Diplocaulus, if I'm being honest with you. Alrighty, so next up we tested their melee damage. Now, as you can see against these mantas, the anglerfish is able to hit 40 damage. Now, this is a base level 1 angler, so do take that into mind. Obviously, that is a pretty solid amount of damage, if I do say so myself, that the angler is actually hitting. I honestly could say that he would be able to take on manta rays if he had a few more levels. Oh god, nope, now he's definitely not going to be able to take them on. You can see there we did 26 damage, that was because they were mate boosted. So the anglerfish does 40 damage per strike at level 1. The Diplocaulus, on the other hand, definitely do not take this guy into combat. He is a horrible mount to use to fight against other creatures. I think he does a base damage of 17. Nope, he does 11. I thought it was because he was mate boosted, but you can see the Diplocaulus is only dealing 11 damage to the manta. So you definitely, at all costs, do not want to take the Diplocaulus into a battle against anything underwater or on land, because he will die. Like, it's not even a joke. You saw there, with his horrible health and his small melee damage, he isn't going to survive very long against the creatures of the deep, so definitely do not take him into the water. Alrighty, so now we're going to come to their turning radius. Now, as you can see here, the Diplocaulus has a decent turning radius. You know, what are you going to expect? It can easily turn very sharply on corners, you know. You don't really need to worry about the turning radius on this guy, because I highly doubt that you guys will actually go out of your way to tame these guys up. My opinion, they're honestly not really worth it, but that's just my opinion. The anglerfish, on the other hand, well, I definitely think they are worth it. Just for their silica gathering abilities alone, you know, you can easily take them to Viking Bay if you're on Ragnarok, the Silica Pearl Cave, and just grab a crap ton of silica pearls. And you can see that the anglerfish actually has a slightly better turning radius than the Diplocaulus, I'm going to say. I think he has a slightly better turning radius, but that's just my opinion from my testing. If you guys don't believe me, jump on your own and test it out yourselves. I do think that anglerfish has a better turning radius. So now that pretty much concludes most of the testing. Now we're going to put them in a battle to the death. Alrighty, and here we go. They're underway. The battle is beginning, and I can tell you now that the Diplocaulus does not stand a chance against the anglerfish. The anglerfish has the significant health pool, the higher damage output. The Diplocaulus is definitely not going to stand a chance. Only thing that could save the Diplocaulus is its speed and its turning radius, which you can see there. The anglerfish has just this little mind of his own where he's just off on his own swimming. I don't know what's going on with him. He's just looking for other things to kill, I guess. That's all he's doing. But the Diplocaulus is going after him. Like I said, the Diplocaulus won't win. Even if he does manage to get damage out on the anglerfish, it'll take a very long time for the Diplocaulus to kill the anglerfish. I don't know what is going on with the anglerfish at the moment. I don't know why it's not attacking back. It might be stuck. Nope, it's swimming around now. What is it? What is it doing? It's in its own little world. We have tested this out before. Like I said, we did do it in a previous video, and the anglerfish came out on top within seconds. Like, it was over for the poor Diplocaulus before it even began. And, you know, in a honest, fair fight, the anglerfish will definitely beat the Diplocaulus. It looks like the anglerfish is stuck. I don't know. It's set to aggressive. It should be attacking back. I don't know why it's not. Things are puzzling me. It's just frustrating slightly, but like I said, anglerfish is definitely going to win. You guys saw from, you know, the stats, the melee damage. What is it doing that the anglerfish was stronger? It had the more health. So, this battle goes to the anglerfish. Honestly, I recommend worth taming. It is worth taming up an anglerfish. Diplocauluses, on the other hand, I don't really think they are worth taming all that much. Unless you're like really low level trying to get to the ocean for oil or pearls or something. Other than that, I wouldn't bother wasting your time taming up Diplocaulus. Alrighty guys, that'll pretty much conclude today's video with the Arc Insight. The anglerfish is actually going to die here to the Diplocaulus. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to leave a like for more. And I hope to catch you in the next one. Got this soda.